Now, 99% of golfers who do this, hard release the hands going through the golf ball, actually completely kill their club head speed. So this is what so many players try to do to be able to gain club head speed, whether it's told by some instructors or the old adage of having to hard release and fire the hands through to whip it through. And some people even ignore this as even being a problem, with some instructors also ignoring this bit of movement pattern. But it is a killer. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to hit shots with hitting with this real hard release with the hands. And I'm going to hit some where I don't do that, where I keep the hands nice and passive. The same swing intent. I'm going to swing about 80% of my club head speed, a normal playing course swing. And we're going to measure both of those with just looking at club head speed and see what happens. So, okay, I'm going to hit 5 shots with each style of release pattern. One with real firing those hands hard, but the other, nice passive hands, not really trying to do all too much with them at all. And we're going to measure that and see what happens to the club head speed. But you're going to also see some differences happen with the swing technique. So they are both going to be 80% swings, like we said, like I'm out on the golf course trying to hit a functional shot. So there's going to be the same swing intent. Some might look slower or faster, but that's because of the technique. So let's have a look here. Let's do 5 hard hands, 80% speed. Okay, so there's 80 miles an hour. I'm hitting 7-iron here for reference. Let's do another one. 82, so gradually going up there. Okay, so that's the second shot. Now another one. 88, that was a good one. So I really got that timed up nicely there. So that's number 3. Okay, let's go for number 4. A nice 80% speed. 82 again, so you can see a little bit of a variability there. Let's do last one here, nice 80% speed, like I'm on the course. That's nice and smooth. 82 again. Okay, so highest was absolutely that nice 88, which isn't too far away from my normal 7-iron club head speed. Lowest was 80. Now let's do passive hands. So I'm not really trying to do anything at all with them. I'm not holding it, definitely not doing that, but I'm not trying to do really much at all. So here we go. Let's get 5 balls back and let's do another 5. So again, guys, here I am only doing 80%. This will look like on some of these, like I might move faster, but I am just trying to do 80% of my speed. Okay, so they're 88. So again, same swing effort. Again, if it looks harder and faster, that is because of the technique, which we're going to explain. And again, let's do another one, 80% speed, no hand movement. 85. A little bit slow on that one. So 88 and an 85 so far. Go another one. 89. So if I'm fully warmed up, it should maybe go around that, maybe a little bit more. It's a cold day here in Scotland today. So let's do another one. There we go. 87. Last one. Let's see what we get. 87 again. So guys, I am measuring this, just so you know, on a PRGR, just nice, simple, that anyone can really use. Very inexpensive, a little portable launch box that gives very accurate club head speeds and data in general. So average there of around 87. So had an 89 a couple of times and my lowest was 85. So we can see on average a lot more consistent. Now, if I'm going to think, okay, in a round of golf, what one do I want to play with? I'm going to want to play with the passive hands, because not only does it make me hit the ball a little bit further from higher club head speed, but it also makes that club head speed much tighter. Now, if I was fully warmed up, maybe it would be a little bit more tighter again with both of them. But again, absolutely, I will go with the more passive. Now, why is that? Let's talk about why the real fast hands going through the golf ball doesn't actually do as much for club head speed as you might think. For some it might, but for most, not so much. Because when I go faster with those hands going through the golf ball, it slows down my rotation going through the golf ball. So that's one thing that you would be able to see from those two swings. I probably looked like I was swinging a lot faster physically on the ones with passive hands. That's because my rotation wasn't stalling. For me, what I physically feel when I have to really release those hands, I will feel my body rotation come to a complete halt going through impact. because it generally has to. I mean, that one there was 80 miles an hour, so really quite slow for my 7-iron. So that's where, if I'm going to get that hand release and time that, I have to slow my body down to be able to do that. I'm not trying to slow my body down, it's just doing that. So that's where it might feel whippy, it might feel powerful, where if you had, let's say, a stick here and you were trying to whip it, if you can really whip it quite fast with just your hand. But as we know, and that's a really kind of short swing as well, really loud whoosh. And as we know, if we do that with the body, maybe about the same amount of, let's say, sound that we're hearing. But then when we actually get the golf club in the way and the golf ball to target, it's not quite the same. It really does go quite a bit slower because the body movement, the momentum of the body is slowing down. It's not catapulting everything through nicely. So in essence, simple terms, body rotation has to slow down to get that timing. Now, if I was measuring this, let's say with my flight scope, for example, you would see everything with those hand release for me go left. Why that would be is because I have a nice square club face in my golf swing. It matches my spine angle. If I try to hard release my hands with a square club face all ready to swing arc, that club face is most likely going to be closed at impact, which is going to make the ball go left. So for that old style of hard releasing the hands, you need the club face to be open to the swing arc, toe pointing up to the sky. For the players back in the day who did this move a ton, let's say Ernie Els, for example, nice smooth rhythm. His club face is open at shaft parallel. He needs to be open with his club face in his golf swing because he has that nice smooth big hand release. Now Ernie could hit the ball a decent distance. What we've got to remember, for those guys in those days, they hit a tremendous amount of golf balls to make that move work. You could get really good at doing this if you had a lot of time at your disposal to get a lot of practice in. Now, it's even there, again, 82 miles an hour, not the fastest. I just think that method for most golfers is not a way to go to be able to create club head speed. It's just going to be, one, not that effective as we could see here, but also it's going to make you a little bit more wayward. So you have to make the club face open. If you don't time it, where's the ball going? It's going all over the place. So for the ones, okay, with those more passive hands, so even though I'll call it passive hands, that's just because I'm not ultimately trying to do anything with them at all, which is absolutely it. If we're having good body movement going through the golf ball, not trying to do anything with the hands, it's nice and square already. We've got our other variables in the golf swing, in a good sense. If you want to learn about variables, there's other videos on my channel about that, to get your swing in a sense to be able to rotate in a good place. Also got a complete guide to rotation in the comment section or in a description as well. But if I get my body rotation nicely flowing through, I'm going to be hitting the ball way better, 89 miles an hour on that one. That one I felt I actually swung quite a bit slower. So that is where it helps you hugely to be able to create much more speed. Because just in that simple terms, you're keeping that momentum going through the ball. It's still going through there. So I'm not trying to hold the angle. I'm not trying to do anything like that. I'm just letting the hands do what the hands want to do. But I'm more controlling the movement of the golf club going through the ball with my body rotating. Look at where I'm finished. See how my chest and the middle of my belt buckle are pointing at the bushy tree there on the left. What was that one? 87. So not bad. I really did not try to go at that one at all. So if I was fully warmed up, I believe I could probably get this in the 90s for sure, miles an hour over 7-iron. But then watch this again with that hand release. Look where my body stops. See how it's now pointing down the target or slightly right of it? That tells me that my body has slowed down from there. Wasn't too bad, that one, 84, so it's not bad at all. But again, not the most efficient. There isn't a huge gap for when you're fully warm, but it is a good handful of miles an hour and a good difference in accuracy as well. But it is going to kill your speed. So we want that good movement going through the golf ball, good fluid rotation. 88, so every time it is just higher by freely going and not trying to do anything with the hands. So guys, we're going to get into a great drill to do to get that good body move and good passive hands, which I personally do a lot in my own game as well for a drill. But I think it'll be very good for us to first discuss what actually really creates speed, the speed kind of mechanisms in the golf swing and the three main speed producers. So first one, as we know, rotation, rotational torque. So this is where is measured on a ground reaction force measuring device. So we can see torque, rotation creates speed. That's one. Two, lateral. shifting. So imagine someone like Scotty Scheffler, he has a ton of shifting. He probably creates a lot of club head speed through his shifting movement, his lateral force. And the third one, which is the most powerful and biggest speed producer of the three, is vertical force. So that is the standing movement. So that's why some players who early extend can still hit the ball really good distance because they are getting into the ground and standing up. But if we do it in a way where we are, let's say, for example, extending our lead side going through the golf ball, which helps us with our torque as well, helps us with our rotation, that will then really help spike the force that we put into the ground and come back up, which is the biggest speed producer in the golf swing. So we see long drive professionals really do a ton of down and up movement of their vertical force. But that's where we know a lot of long drive players do not try to create speed with the hands because it's not that effective in regards to amplifying other areas in the swing. So that's where, again, you can make the hand rotation work. It's just going to take a lot of work to be able to do that. There's easier ways. Now, you don't need to think of those three areas in the golf swing. It'd be good to get yourself measured on some force plates. That would be good so you know what one you need to prioritize more. But here's a great drill just in general to get that body moving nicely and flowing through the golf shot. So what I've got here, I've got the swing plate. Now, there is a link in the description for a discount on the swing plate as well, which will be absolutely brilliant. Now, what we're doing via this, we're actually blocking what happens to the hands and arms if you do go too releasey with the hands. Because here's the thing, a lot of players who do that big hand release, a lot of players do that and they're not trying to do it. They're doing it as a fault. Rory will sometimes talk about how when he stalls out his rotation, he gets a bit flippy through the golf ball, something he's actively trying to get rid of all the time with his own golf swing. But this is a great way to get the body incentivized to be able to continue to turn through the hitting area at where the speed should be at the fastest. So you can see I've got the swing plate here. It's a little bit down the target line, really only about half a 7-irons distance and really about a grips distance in front from there. Because now if I get handsy, I'm most likely going to hit that with my club. Now, and my hands. So I want to swing and I want to miss this going through impact. I want to miss it. So how my body's going to do that, it's going to turn more to be able to do it. We don't necessarily want to drag it through because if we try to physically drag it around, that can cause an over the top. We're going to talk about another little addition we can do to stop that. So we just want to get that body turning really nicely and ultimately just miss that. And we're going to get more of a passive movement with the hands and better body movement going through the golf ball. So from there, I actually slightly hit that heavy because I sometimes struggle with the hands going too much out in front of me as well. So I really tried hard there and I hit it a little bit heavy, but it was still faster than the hand release. That was 84. So again, that one, not my best effort, that's for certain. So again, nice 80% speed, just swing underneath this, good turn. That was much, much better. Where are we there? Much better, 88. So okay, really important now. From here, if your hands still want to have a little bit of a look post-impact, that's okay. You know, we don't want to try and stop that rotation of the hands. We just want to stop it hard going through the golf ball. That's where you will see the hands turn over at shaft parallel. Everything rotates at the end. We don't want to try and stop that. We just want the body to continue to turn and not actively try to do it with the hands and arms. So that's why I want body rotation to stay. That's what's going to give us and keep our speed. Let me move this a little bit more behind. That may be giving me a poor reading. And give a nice, good full turn through there. Lovely. Good. So what I want to do there, 89. Good. Really felt like I went quite soft at that as well. So if you're an over-the-top golfer, or you swing a little bit out to win, you want something to help you with your pass, because this, again, if it's a player who already tries to drag the club across, this can make you out to win. So just have a little, what I call drill station. Get something like another alignment stick, or like here, a shoe bag, which has got loads of golf balls and different little bits of training aids and stuff in here for me. And we get this, so we put it just on the outside of the ball line, preferably to where it's just outside the ball there. The ball's at the front of it. So if I get a little bit overly out to win, I'm going to hit that. It's really good for shankers as well. Now try and swing underneath it. Let's get that a little bit closer. If it wants to stay there, that's better. This definitely feels a bit nerve-wracking, this does. Let's hit one. Brilliant. So then we're more of a in-to-in structure. It's great if you're an over-the-top player to get that still that good, nice passive movement of the hands whilst working on club path as well. So as we can see there, again, it's a very rudimentary way of measuring there. On a good TrackMan, for example, that'd be the best way to do it. Fully warmed up, of course, absolutely. Maybe I'll make a video a little bit more like that in the future. It's a little bit more warmed up, but I thought this is a great topic to think about and to know that not necessarily do you want to be doing that hand movement going through the golf ball hard to create club head speed, because quite often it will do the exact opposite. Some players will get away with it, but not so much for most. So if you enjoyed this video, click that like button for more golf instruction. Just like this, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video.